Swan dive. What's going on, people? Just dropping in on you because it's time for the high press. My name is Dave, and we are on fanfutsal.com taking a look at all of the upcoming matches, and we are going through a quick preview of them. And we only have 10 minutes. I don't want to run out of time, so let's get right into it. Before that, I went 38% with my picks last week, so not very good. Still above break even. I only have to go 33% to be above break even, but let's get right into them for this week. Starting off in the Bundesliga, we got Hamburg versus Leverkusen. Leverkusen was on a decent run, lost last week to Mönchengladbach. Hamburg is down in the relegation zone. I like Leverkusen on the road to get things corrected, get a win there. Deportivo La Coruña versus Real Betis. Both are sitting mid-table in La Liga. I don't see either of them breaking through and getting a victory there. I think that one's going to end up as a draw. Metz versus Olympique Marseille. Metz sliding back down into the relegation zone. Olympique Marseille coming off that big victory last week over Montpellier. I like Marseille to keep that momentum going. Puebla versus Atlas. Puebla, bottom of the table in Liga MX. It's still early, I know, but I don't see them getting a victory here, and I like Atlas on the road to get one. Veracruz versus Chiapas, battle of the two worst teams in the Apertura. I like Veracruz at home. Both are off to a decent start in the Clausura, though, surprisingly, but I like Veracruz to get a win there. Chelsea versus Arsenal, best matchup in the EPL this weekend. As much as I want to pick Arsenal to win, I think this one ends up as a draw. I think Arsenal does enough to frustrate Chelsea, but Chelsea's so far out in front. I just see that one ending up as a draw, and it's probably Chelsea's title to lose. Crystal Palace versus Sunderland. Palace finally got a victory under Sam Allardyce in the league. Sunderland, bottom of the table. I think Palace keeps that momentum going with another victory here. Everton versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth just lost one of their best strikers. They've been on a terrible run of form. Everton has been playing very well. Bournemouth going to be in a real relegation fight the rest of the year. Everton gets a victory there. Hull versus Liverpool. Liverpool had a terrible January. Hull has started to get a little bit of momentum, frustrated Man U this week. Having said that, new month for Liverpool, I think they get a win there. Southampton versus West Ham. Both clubs mid-table. Both clubs just had some transfers going on, some injuries. I don't see either one really getting things corrected, and I think that one ends up as a draw. Watford versus Burnley. Burnley is absolutely terrible on the road. Watford got a victory last week after they've been on a terrible run of form over Arsenal. I think they get a win there. West Brom versus Stoke City. Again, both clubs mid-table, not a lot to play for. I see that one ending up as a draw. Tottenham versus Middlesbrough. Both clubs very solid defensively. Middlesbrough cannot score whatsoever. I like Tottenham like a 1-0, 2-0 victory there. Bayern versus Schalke. Schalke having really spotty form. Bayern just absolutely rolling. They keep that going and get another victory there. Mönchengladbach versus Freiburg. Mönchengladbach got a nice victory last week to move up the table a bit. They're still kind of in the lower regions of the table by their standards. Freiburg sitting comfortably mid-table. I think this one ends up as a draw, though. Hertha versus Ingolstadt. Hertha had a surprise loss last week. Ingolstadt sitting down in the relegation zone. I think Hertha gets things corrected, continues that fight for those Champions League Europa League spots. So I like them there. Köln versus Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg has been doing pretty poorly, very struggling to score goals. Sitting in the lower regions of the table. They had 3 straight victories, got a loss last week. I like this one to end up as a draw. Köln, not much to play for. I mean, they're still fighting for Europe, so I could see their victory, but I think this one ends up as a draw. Hoffenheim versus Mainz. Little round of applause for Hoffenheim. They made it the furthest out of any club in the Big 5 leagues in Europe before they were defeated last week to Red Bull Leipzig. Or Rasenball Leipzig. They're not Red Bull, technically. Anyways, so I think this one ends up as a draw. Hoffenheim, like the draw kings of the Bundesliga. I think this one ends up as a draw as well. Borussia Dortmund versus Red Bull RB Leipzig. I like Dortmund at home to get this win and really help out their hated rivals, Bayern Munich, in the title race because Dortmund's not in the title race anymore and Leipzig sit in second. I like Dortmund at home to get a win there. Malaga versus Espanyol. Both clubs mid-table. Malaga on a really tough run of form. Espanyol has been doing very, very well this year. I like them on the road to get a victory there. Barca versus Athletic Club. Barca de Bilbao. Athletic Club de Bilbao. Barca drew last week. So they're slowly fading back out of the title race. I think it's pretty much Real Madrid's at this point, but I like Barca to get things corrected, get a win there. Atletico versus Leganes. Speaking of falling out of the title race, Atletico's nowhere to be found in that. They're just fighting to stay in Europe. I like them at home, though, there. Valencia versus Eibar. I think this one ends up as a draw. Valencia is tough to predict. Eibar sitting comfortably mid-table. I like that one to end up as a draw. Napoli versus Bologna. Bologna, not much to play for. Serie A, basically the bottom three teams are just terrible and are going to be relegated. Bologna sitting mid-table, not much to play for. Napoli still fighting for Champions League spots. I think the title race is over, but I like them to get a win there. Best match in Ligue 1 this weekend, Monaco versus Nice. Monaco's high-flying offense versus Nice, really good defense. I think Monaco wins out, gets a win there. Bordeaux versus Rennes. Both clubs mid-table, not a lot to separate them. I like this one to end up actually, I like Bordeaux to win that one. I picked draw, but I actually like Bordeaux at home to win that one. Lille versus Lorient. Lorient, bottom of the table. Lille, mid-table. Not too much to, they have enough to play for, and so I like Lille at home there. Montpellier versus Bastia. Montpellier coming off a dreadful loss. They got smoked last week. I like Bastia to frustrate them, get a draw there. Dijon versus PSG. I like PSG on the road. I think that they have a lot to play for. Guingamp versus Caen. Guingamp not doing very well. Kind of falling back. Caen's not doing much better, but I like Caen to get a road draw out of that one. Cruz Azul versus Querétaro. Cruz Azul at home. Querétaro not doing well. I like Cruz Azul there. Monarcas versus America. America coming off a victory last week, the first one of the Clausura. I like them to get a win. Tigres versus Toluca. I like Tigres in that one. At home, I just like them there. Tijuana stay top of the table in Liga MX. I like them at home over Lyon. Monterrey versus Necaxa. I like Monterrey to get a win there. Let's move on to Sunday. Keep this thing going. We're running out of time already. In the EPL, City versus Swansea, both are on a decent run of form. Both seem to have things corrected. I like City, though. I think that they're going to be really dangerous the rest of the year. Leicester versus Man U. Leicester has a serious chance of being the first EPL champion to go down after winning and be relegated. I like them to frustrate Man U enough, though, to see this one in a draw, just partially because I want to see how pissed Jose Mourinho can get. Augsburg versus Werder Bremen. I like Augsburg. Augsburg can't score, but they also have a very stout defense. Werder can't score, but gives up goals. I like Augsburg in a low-scoring victory. Eintracht Frankfurt versus Darmstadt. Eintracht Frankfurt is in the Europe spots in the Bundesliga. Darmstadt basically a certainty to get relegated. I like Eintracht at home. Sevilla versus Real, going to be a really good versus Villarreal. It's going to be a really good match. I actually like this one to end up as a draw. Both clubs fighting for Champions League spots. Sporting Gijon versus Alaves. I just like this one to end up as a draw. I don't see either team really being able to break through. Sociedad versus Osasuna. I like Sociedad in this one. Osasuna second to last. I think 1 or 2 victories on the year. I don't think they get another one. I like Sociedad. Real Madrid, so good offensively, so good defensively. No disrespect to Celta de Vigo, but I like them there. Milan has been on a shaky run of form. I like them to get things corrected here and get a result at home. Atalanta versus Cagliari. Atalanta having a decent year. Cagliari benefiting from the bottom three in Serie A just being so bad. They don't have a lot to play for, but they don't have a lot to worry about. I like Atalanta at home. Pescara versus Lazio. Pescara, one of those clubs that is terrible. I think 1 win on the season. I like Lazio, even though Lazio has been struggling a little bit. I like Lazio on the road to get a win. Genoa versus Sassuolo. I think that one ends up as a draw. I can't see either team breaking through there. Empoli versus Torino. I like Torino on the road. Empoli is not doing very well, but again, benefiting from those bottom 3 clubs being so poor. And so Torino gets a win there. Chievo versus Udinese. Chievo coming off that victory last week over Lazio on the road. Keeps that momentum going. Palermo versus Crotone. These two are the bottom 2 or they're in the relegation zone in Serie A. I like Palermo at home there. But ultimately, I think they both end up getting relegated. Best matchup in Serie A this weekend, Juve versus Inter. Inter something like 7 straight wins. Juve hasn't lost at home in a year and a half. I actually like this one to end up as a draw there. Toulouse versus Angers. I like this one to end up as a draw. Toulouse not doing very well. 4 straight losses. Angers not doing great either, but I like that one to end up as a draw. Nantes versus Nancy. The battles of the Nantes. This one, I like Nantes both clubs struggle to score goals. I like Nantes to get like a 1-0 victory there. Saint Etienne versus Olympique Lyonnais. I like Lyonnais to get things corrected and get a victory there. Pumas versus Pachuca. Pumas has been on a decent run of form. They get a victory there. Chivas Guadalajara at home. I like them there. The last matchup is Granada versus Las Palmas. I like Las Palmas to get a win. They seem to play every Monday and seem to do well. I survived. You survived. Thank you for watching. Go to Fan Futsal. Check it out. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.